Before we get into today's video, guys, it's your boy Clouds. We're at 21K right now. If y'all could do me a big favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you guys will be alerted whenever I upload a video. Another thing is we have memberships on the channel now. This is my first time officially announcing it on the channel. For those of you who have been in my live streams, you guys have known we had memberships for a while. And this is just if you guys want to support the channel a little more. You don't need to at all. In fact, I'm not asking you to. I'm just announcing it for the first time on the channel. Anyways, hopefully y'all enjoy this video upcoming. It's been your boy Clouds, and yeah, let's hop right into the video, guys. Yo, what's up, guys? As y'all can tell by the title, we are doing a MERA fruit review. This is the last video I'll be doing on MERA before I reset it. So, yeah. So, we're just gonna be going over the moveset, showing some gameplay, giving some tips, just like all the other fruit reviews. We'll rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. This, in my opinion, I'm gonna say right out the gate, is a really good fruit. We've had a roller coaster with this fruit starting out. I didn't really like it so much, but going on with it, I've liked it a lot more. So, let's get right into the review, guys. Okay, guys, getting into the moveset of MERA. MERA actually has a pretty solid moveset, I'm not gonna lie. Like, every move is pretty solid. But getting into the first move, we have fireflies right here. You unleash a flurry of flame balls, I guess, and it's like really fast. There's a couple of them. This move is really good because it does quite a bit of damage. The burn damage isn't all that great, but you can do a simple combo like this and it does a lot of damage once you hit all of the fireflies. However, the one thing about this is it's one of the easiest moves to perfect block, and if you're using it from afar, it's even easier to perfect block, to be honest. But the advantage is you can use this kind of farm, and it does have good range and good damage, so it is a move you can throw out. But yes, that's the first move, fireflies. It's actually very solid in my opinion. Next move we have is flame flight. And this is a pretty decent flight, I won't lie to you. The speed is decent, it doesn't take too much stamina. But the one advantage is you can use moves while in flame flight, as you guys can see right here. This was an addition or a buff that just got added in update 3 to MERA. You used to not be able to do this, and so flight was kind of seen as a bit of a useless move. One thing to also note is flame flight has an animation similar to Tori's flight animation where it like puts you up in the air. So you can use this to kind of dodge moves in a way. You can also use the flame flight, the little animation to your advantage to throw out a move. And I'll show you guys what I mean in a second. You can use flame flight, and if you instantly press another move, it'll kind of like animation cancel that right there. You guys can see it like that, and you can fake out your opponents that way. So flame flight does have some of its uses for other than just running away. The third move, and this is probably one of the best moves other than flame pillar, but we'll get into that in just a second, is he can. As you can see right here, it is a very fast like fireball, basically just like you know, peek a kick, gore a punch, whatever, but it has good AoE, really solid AoE, and it comes out super quick. This one is a little bit hard to react to sometimes. You can catch your opponents off guard, and one way you can confirm he can is after you get 5M1s, throw it out on the ground like that. If you do it too far towards where they get knocked back to, they can perfect block it. However, if you get the distance and the area right, you'll be able to land that he can every time, like that. The good thing about this is it has decent burn damage and a really low cooldown. Even in arena, the cooldown is pretty minuscule, so you can kind of take advantage of that and abuse it a little bit. It's really nice. You could pretty much use it after every M1 if you can land it right. The next move, which is the best move in this entire kit, flame pillar. This right here does so much burn damage, even if you only get hit by a couple ticks. The thing is, flame pillar has 8 ticks total. If you hit all 8 ticks, depending on how much you have, right now I have close to 500 points in devil fruit. All 8 ticks is dealing 400 plus damage. So you guys can see that is a really worthwhile move. This move also has very low cooldown, so you can easily spam this move, and really as a MERA user, you're going to be taking advantage of that flame pillar a lot, in my opinion. So let me show you guys an easy combo you guys can do with flame pillar that's a confirm. Literally 5M1 dash, and you're guaranteed to get 3 or 4 hits. Not guaranteed, sometimes I only get 2 hits, but literally that burn damage is insane on that. The last move is the ult, and you know, most ults in this game are not very good, I'm not gonna lie to you. This one is no exception to that. The longer you hold it, the more time they have to prepare to run away or Takai, and if you just throw it out, the range is really low, so you're most likely gonna miss. However, the ult is good if you get like a block brick or something. You can catch him off guard and hit him with that. There's many ways you can use the ult, but it is definitely, you know, not the best ult in the game, I would say. But overall, really good movesets. Your main tools are going to be Flame Pillar, he can, and Fireflies. Flame Flight has its uses as well as the ult, but overall, I mean, you're going to be taking advantage of a lot of the moves with MERA. So it does have a very solid moveset, which is a good advantage of MERA in my opinion. But yeah, guys, that's the moveset. Let's get into the next section of this review. Okay, guys, so now we're in the gameplay and tips and strats. I'm just using some old footage over here, and I'm doing voiceover, I mean, obviously. First tips I guess I could give is the best weapons you can use with MERA are either CC or Trident. The other weapons are kind of average in my opinion, and this is kind of a commonly known fact, I guess, but CC would probably be the better one for the flash freeze, easy combos with that. You can use flash freeze into Fireflies, a very good damage combo right there, as well as the CC M1 speed and damage is also pretty good, I would say. Some tips that have been given to me while I've been, you know, learning how to use MERA is that the Fireflies up tilt into Fireflies combo is not really worth it because your opponent can pretty much M1 you after you do the up tilt Fireflies. It is a good combo to use every once in a while because your opponent may not be expecting it. However, it is not something you should rely on in my opinion. Instead, you should save your Fireflies for if you get a block break or a PB. So like I said earlier, flash freeze into Fireflies is a really easy combo you could go for, and you can take advantage of that being a block break if they block break with it, or whenever you use PBs, save for that Fireflies. Another easy combo you can go for is 5 M1s into Hiken, but you aim the Hiken at the ground, or you can do 5 M1s into Flame Pillar. Another pro strat I would say is save your Flame Pillar for whenever your opponent uses and misses a move that holds them in place. That way they take the entire Flame Pillar. It's really punishing when your opponent takes the entire damage of the Flame Pillar. Let's say they're holding Light Lunge or Ice Sword or a Gura move that holds them in place, preferably a move that has like Hyper Armor that keeps them in place. This is when you can really take advantage of Flame Pillar in my opinion. And really get the full 8 ticks of that Flame Pillar, because depending on how much you have into Devil Fruit, you're going to be dealing 400 plus off of one fully 8 tick Flame Pillar. Some more tips I can give going into this next match, another voiceover, is this is going to be more 2v2 oriented, but a good pair of 2v2 with MERA is actually Gora or someone having Elo Hammer or Trident really. And the reason that is because if someone on your team has Gora or a freezing move, honestly, my bad for interrupting like that, but if someone has Gora or a move that holds the opponent in place, you can really take advantage of the Flame Pillar. If you guys seen in my Half Hot Half Cold collab with Chase, you guys seen I really took advantage of the fact that when he used Pound Festival, it holds him in place, and they're gonna take all 8 ticks of the Flame Pillar. So that makes MERA honestly really good for 2v2s as well as 1v1s because of the low cooldowns, high damage dealing moves. You can really take advantage of that and abuse it when, you know, your opponents are playing normally. You can just spam with them. More tips I can give with MERA are try not to focus too much on M1s. Sometimes if your opponent's holding block in your face and you can't get through their block, don't be afraid to just throw out that Flame Pillar and break their block. You might be labeled as a spammer, but at the end of the day, you finna get that dub, you know what I'm saying? As well as use your Hiken anytime you can. Anytime you can, I mean anytime you can. It's really up for you to use whenever you need it. Same with Flame Pillar. Fireflies, I would hold back, like I said earlier, when you get a PB or card break, because otherwise you're just gonna get punished for trying to use it against good players. I used to think that the up tilt Fireflies combo was true. However, even though you're landing the Fireflies, you're gonna get punished back by a good player. All they have to do is just spam M1s. So yeah, really take advantage of that Hiken after every M1. If you have it, use it. Otherwise, just go for a Shigan combo or a rank Yaku. But yeah, I mean, really, with MERA, you're just kind of trying to get damage in as much as you can. You gotta remember, this is not a combo fruit. This is a damage fruit. Anyways, that's all the tips I can give you guys right now. For the most part, all the important tips. Let's get into the next part of the review, guys. Alright guys, so we are in the next section of the review, pros and cons, and this isn't really going to be that long. I mean, like, there's not many cons to MERA, to be honest. I'm going to go with the cons first, just to get those out the way. First con being easily PBable. These probably have among the easier PBable moves. I mean, mainly Fireflies, and he can, because you can't really PB Flame Pillar. If you try and PB Flame Pillar, you're just gonna get punished for trying. But that's like half of our moveset that are relatively easy to PB. Fireflies, you can literally PB while in the middle of being hit with it, because Fireflies has no stun, and he can is also relatively easy to PB. You guys can see it. But yeah, that's one con I would say. The next con I would say, and I don't even know if this is really a con, but this is not a combo fruit. You're kind of forced to play the spammy running playstyle, not running, but spammy playstyle with this, because all the moves have either really high knockback or no stun, making this kind of similar to Magu in a way, and the fact that it's not a combo fruit, it's a damage fruit, and you have to play it as such. So really, you kind of have to adapt a certain playstyle to play this fruit. And trust me, I've tried it. You can't really do hybrids with this fruit. It just doesn't work. Otherwise, you're not gonna have enough damage out of fruit. So I just recommend you guys just put a bunch of points in the fruit or devil fruit, have minimum, you know, M1s, and then play it that way. I don't really consider that much of a con, but like, yeah, I guess to some it would be considered a con because it might not fit your playstyle. The next con I would say that's like distinctive like factor, or like one worth mentioning, is that this doesn't have like tremendous range. Like, it has solid mid-range moves to it, but the thing about the moves with MERA is the longer like you have to shoot your move, the more time your opponent has to react to it. For example, if I just shoot you with a he can right point blank, it's gonna be harder to BB versus if like I shoot it from you from this far and you're over there. You have more than enough time to react. Same with Fireflies, and Flame Pillar just has like no range to it at all. It's only this like cone of area right here. So it's easy to miss Flame Pillar sometimes. That's why you shouldn't just throw it out. You should do like 5 M1s in the Flame Pillar, and that's better in my opinion. You shouldn't just be throwing out Flame Pillar. But I mean, those are pretty much most of the cons, I would say. And most of those aren't even like definitive detrimental cons. Like most of those are like kind of playstyle oriented things. It's not like, I'm not saying those are all the cons to MERA, but those are like the biggest ones I decided to mention. I'm not really trying to get into the nitty gritty, all the small details, but yeah, those are pretty much the main cons I would say to the fruit. Now let's get into the pros, and there's quite a bit of pros, man. What was once a con is kind of also a pro. Yeah, it's not a combo fruit, and it is a damage fruit, but boy does this fruit deliver in the damage compartment, bro. Literally, you get rewarded so much for just spamming with this fruit, and that in my opinion is a pro in and of itself. The massive damage of this fruit. Look at this. Like, if you land even 3 or 4 ticks of the Flame Pillar, that's like 200 damage right there, bro, plus the burn damage. So it's crazy. Very low cooldowns on every move, mind you. Even the ult, even for an ult, this has a low cooldown. I'm not gonna lie to you. Fireflies, he can, Flame Pillar. If you're a MERA user, adopt the playstyle. Abuse it. Abuse the fact that you have no cooldowns on all these moves. They deal massive damage. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Low cooldown, massive damage. And you know what the next pro is? It takes no stamina. Like, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. I used that. It barely took any. I used this. It barely took any. I'm about to use Flame Pillar. It barely took any. I don't think I've ever been in a situation where I've run out of stamina with MERA. Not only in PvP is your stamina regen kind of high, and you can even choose to go with high stamina regen items if you want, but none of these moves take a lot of stamina. The only one that takes a lot of stamina is the ult, and it only really takes a lot if you're holding it till it's charged fully, right? This fruit does not take a lot of stamina at all. The next pro, and it's probably the last pro that's like definitive enough to mention, is the fact that this is an all-around fruit. You'll be able to do anything in the game with this fruit. Grinding, no problem. Boss farming, no problem. Ship farming, no problem. CB's farming, definitely no problem. And you already know if you see my video, dungeons is no problem for this fruit. And of course, it dominates in the PvP factor as well. You can't go wrong eating this fruit, man. You cannot go wrong eating this fruit. I'll tell you that right now. This is a solid fruit. Those are pretty much most of the pros and cons I decided that were worth mentioning. Let me know if I missed anything that you guys think were worth mentioning in this. But let's get into the next section of this review, guys. All right, y'all, now we are in the conclusion of this. We went over the moveset. I showed y'all some tips and gameplay, went over some pros and cons, and overall, you know what I'm saying, this ain't a bad fruit no matter how you look at it. This is probably one of the better fruits in the game. I wouldn't say it's like the best fruit in the game, however, it is definitely a very demon timing fruit, bro. If you eat this fruit, bro, you want demon timing, bro. Like, let's just recap some of the things, bro. High damage, you know what I'm saying, low cooldowns, no stamina. Doesn't really have combos, but there are a couple of decent combos out there. Fireflies combo, you know what I'm saying, pretty decent, I ain't gonna lie to you. Really good for dungeons, really good for grinding everything, man. You really can't go wrong with this fruit. If I had to give this a rating, it'd be a 9.5 out of 10. The only reason I wouldn't give it a 10 out of 10 is because it's not the best for grinding. There are better fruits for grinding, but this is like a Pika Junior, you know what I'm saying? Like, barely below Pika in terms of grinding. And as for PvP, this is arguably one of the best in PvP. So the only thing that's really holding it down is the grinding. Honestly, I might even give this a 10 out of 10 because of how good it is. Like, it does everything so good. Like, it's not bad for anything in the game. So honestly, I might even just give it a straight 10 out of 10 because of how solid it does and how it does everything, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, overall, like, this is a really solid fruit. If you guys haven't given this a try already, you know, definitely give it a try. I will say, though, this does not fit every playstyle. If you're an M1 main, I would say steer as far away from this fruit as you can. I myself am an M1 main, and it took me like a whole week of adapting to this playstyle to finally understand how to play MERA. And the playstyle of MERA is just spamming. I'm sorry to tell you, bro. If you get mad at a MERA user in Arena, just brush it off, man, because that's the only way you can play MERA, by spamming. Anyways, it's been your boy Clouds. I'm kind of happy to finally get off this fruit. Let me know what I should eat next down in the comments below. I appreciate all the support I have received recently. I love all y'all, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.